Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for May the 7th through May the 13th. Excuse me, I'm very hot and I can't put my AC on because it's too loud. It would just make too much noise. So I'm going to just have to be hot. Listen, if you're new to my readings, welcome. I really hope that you stick around to the end because I've got a very special gift for everyone at the end. It's kind of cool, so stick around to the end. This is a general reading, guys. Oh, and also, sorry, I'm so sorry. If you're returning, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. This is a general reading, guys, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Keep it moving. If it's not for you this week, if, you know, maybe part of the reading will resonate with you and some of it won't. Take what you can and leave the rest, and please come back and check out, because maybe the reading will be for you next time. You know, listen, I am on Instant Go, and the link is below. You can ask me questions 24 hours a day, darling. I'm there. So check me out on Instago. It's a fabulous app. I think a lot of YouTubers have it. You can just download the app for free from the App Store. And I don't know if Android has it yet, but I know they will soon if they don't. This is for your sun, moon and rising. If you know your moon and rising, that information will be below. I'm also on Patreon. I have a Patreon page and there's links to that below. Check that out. You know, I do all kinds of posts there just for patrons. It's, you know, it's interesting. Anyway, without further ado, let me go into the astrological report for this week. And Mercury on the 6th and 7th, so you'll probably feel it on Sunday. I'm just recording this on Friday night, actually. It is right now. So the 6th and the 7th, you'll feel it on the 6th, but I think it moves in on the 7th. Mercury moves into a challenging aspect to Pluto. This is about power control, right? Because Mercury is the planet of intellect, of the mind, thinking, communication, and Pluto is the planet of deep spirituality and the underworld, things coming up. So we might, this is about power and control. So we might have some issues. It's just for a couple of days. It's not a very long transit. So we might have some issues in relationships for those couple of days. So, you know, it's going to be, it could be a power battle. And then at the same time, Venus challenges Neptune. Venus, the planet of love and finances, and Neptune, you know, dreamy, ethereal, and, you know, also spiritual, but can be deceitful. So we might have some challenges financially there. Now on the 12th, Mercury is connecting with Uranus. Now, Mercury, as I said before, it's the planet of communication, of the mental realm, of intellect. And Uranus is the planet of sudden happenings, surprises, sometimes shocking, you know, events happening out of the blue. It's a rebel planet. So this could mean that we can have some issues communicating with people. We might say things, blurt things out without thinking. So it's really a good idea to be aware of that and try to breathe before, you know, before you say it. Don't go straight from thought to mouth, you know. It's going to be challenging. Now on the 13th, Mercury moves into Taurus, which is a much better place for Mercury, and it's more grounded and more, you know, slower and more deliberate. Excuse me. Now, I know we finish right, on the 13th, but I have to mention the new moon, because although I'll go into more depth next week, but the new moon in Taurus, right, is like so much is happening around the same time. That's why I really want to mention this. So the new moon moves into Taurus. Now, the moon is in its exaltation in Taurus. It loves Taurus. It's nurturing. It's time to, whatever seeds we've planted, it's time to nurture them and allow them to grow. This is a beautiful, beautiful new moon. It's gorgeous. Now, around the same time, or the day after, Uranus moves into Taurus. Now, this is huge. Uranus has like 84-year elliptical cycle, right? And during those 84 years, it goes into each sign. So it's approximately in each sign for 7 years. So it's been in Aries and it's going into Taurus. Now, Uranus is that sudden happenings, it's revolutionary, it's eruptions, it's lightning, right? That's what it is. And Taurus is grounded, so it's not going to be that happy in Taurus. Or, it means that, because Taurus is about the planet, about Earth, something major could happen globally during that time. So it's been in Aries, which is a cardinal sign. It really liked being in Aries, right? It could start things. It could, erupt and sudden changes. And it's been difficult for people with this, with Uranus in Aries. However, now it's going into Taurus. And it's not so happy in Taurus because it's more grounded and it's pulled down, right? So this is about ground. This is about global. This is about the planet. Now, it hasn't, the last time it moved into Taurus, it was in Taurus from 1934 to 1941. Turbulent times, right? This could be, something huge could happen mid-month, or the next few years, something major is happening. Now, Mars is moving around the same time too. Mars is moving out of Capricorn and it moves into Aquarius. Now, Mars has loved Capricorn. It's really enjoyed Capricorn, right? It's been able to start things and finish things, right? Now, Mars is the planet of war, don't forget. And the spark, it starts things, right? It's about action, it's about going forward, but normally it can't finish things, but in Capricorn it could. Well, now it's moving into Aquarius. Darling, it's like, it's going to be all over the place. It's not going to be happy in Aquarius. So, Aquarius is air and Mars is fire, and there could be explosions and eruptions. So be prepared. Normally I wouldn't mention, I'll go into more detail about them, about those aspects next week, because really it is in next week, but I couldn't not mention it because I think we should be prepared for this huge shift in energy. It's major. It's going to be major. Good for some always, and not good for others. So without further ado, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for May the 7th through May the 13th. And don't forget to stay to the end because there's a gift at the end. Okay. The first card out is the Queen of Swords. And this is kind of a message for all of us, really, this week, because of what's happening astrologically. She tells her truth, right? But she speaks sometimes without the consideration of people's feelings. She doesn't think about their feelings. She's one of these, she's really intelligent, she's really astute, and she knows people, she can see through to their soul. But she doesn't really have empathy. She's more cerebral and analytical, and she's comes from the intellect and not necessarily from the heart. So she's telling you the truth. Now, she has no she doesn't have any ill will. She'll tell you the truth out of with the best intention, but she's really not kind of considerate of people's feelings. So this, when she comes in, it's saying, yes, you can tell your truth, but really, please, say it with kindness and compassion. You know, think before you speak, particularly this week. We are being challenged with Mercury and Mars. So we really need to be aware of that. And there's so many planetary transits and aspects that are going on. So it's very important. Now, clarifying it is the Eight of Earth, and you know, the Eight of Earth is like, it's known as the Apprentice card, right? But it's even a master of their craft can always learn more. We are constantly learning and evolving. So clarifying this, now she studied humans, right? She studies patterns. That's what astrology is, the study of patterns. That's what humans do naturally. They see patterns and they study patterns. It's just innate in us all. So I feel that this is personal growth for you, Cancer, this week. For us, I'm a Cancerian too. So I feel that we really have to learn. Look, you know, I always say there aren't any mistakes. There are reaping days and learning days. We may have some learning days this week, and you know, they're not necessarily painful, but if we can keep it in terms of a lesson, we can put a positive spin on it and not feel so bad. It's not staying in the problem. It's like, look, that's what my business is called, live in the solution. And there's no coincidence there. I've had to bring myself to live in the solution so many times, all the time, in fact. So here we are. This is about studying. This is about learning all we can about our situations, about how we're going to go forward, and about ourselves. It's personal growth, I feel, this week. But really go forward with kindness and compassion. And the next, we got two cards together, right? We have the Four of Cups and we have the Two of Swords. They fell together. I just feel that some of you or some of us are focusing on something that hasn't worked out, kind of regret, and, you know, definitely not seeing what's going on around us. And particularly with this card there, look, she's blindfolded. She refuses to see what's in front of her, and she's closed off to anything that's coming in, right? So it's almost like this energy, Cancer, is blocking you. So it's important. Look, we can all go there, you know, I mean, it's a natural thing. Don't stay there though, right? It's like, well, try not to stay there. Take the blindfold off. Look at what's in front of you. It's time to kind of look at reality and see there's a gift from the universe coming for you, and you're not seeing it because you're so focused on what's not working. So, and what hasn't worked, and something may not have turned out the way you wanted it to. And so it's almost like you're not accepting this wonderful gift from the universe. And it's there for the taking. And I'm saying that because clarifying it, look, you've got the beautiful King of Fire. And look, there's a beautiful heart right there. For some of you, this could be a lover coming in, absolutely. But I really, whatever this could be a business opportunity, it could be a job, it could be an opportunity that you will miss because you are so in this. You are blocked off, you're blocking the energy off, you're refusing to see what's in front of you, and you are focusing on what hasn't worked. And you're kind of in this place of regret and disappointment and disillusionment. And darling, come into the moment, because this beautiful gift is coming in for you. Don't miss that. Don't miss it, Cancer. Now the next card, you had messages falling out all over for you, Cancer. The next card, there were two cards. There's the Seven of Pentacles and there's the Star card. The Star card I love. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is focusing on what's working, not what's not. It's like, look, it's almost like the wait is over. It's like things are starting to pay off. You're starting to see the fruit on the trees. Look, you see all the pentacles are on the tree. He's standing there. He's worked really hard and he's taking a moment to luxuriate in all his hard work and how it's blossoming, and now he's getting paid. It's getting fed, right? All this stuff is growing. And the Star card is a healing card. It's a deep, deep spiritual healing. Look, it's like the starlight is, you know, she comes down and she puts starlight where there was once darkness. So your path is being illuminated. For some of you, this is your life path, and some of you could be on what you think is your life path, and guess what? You're going to be shown in a different direction, right? It could be something in a completely different direction. Something's going to come in. I feel like it's a big change for you this week, Cancer. Some energy is coming in, and as long as you are focused on what is working and, you know, really keep the focus on what's going on in front of you so that you don't miss it. You don't want to miss this opportunity coming in for you. And also, this is about spirituality. You know, he's an incredible leader when guided by spirit. So you are getting a very deep, it can be physical, emotional, spiritual healing coming in for you this week. Now, clarifying it is the Seven of Air. This is about not being boxed in. You know, you could be a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. No, don't. Stop trying to fit in. You don't need to fit in, Cancer. You can, you need to live life on your own terms. This is about being independent. It's about going forward. And the Seven, I would say, is introspective. It's very spiritual. It's about connecting with your mind and your heart. But this is about, listen, this is about moving forward in your own unique way. Don't people please. Don't make decisions don't be pressured by peers. And don't make a decision just because you think that that's the way to go with the whole group, right? No, sometimes you've got to dance to your own drum, right? This is about being independent, being sure, and having the confidence to go forward and do what you're meant to do in your own way. Live life on your terms, Cancer. That's what this is saying. Now, I'm going to do romance cards for you guys. I'm going to do one for people who are Cancerians who are single, and one for those of you in relationships. First, the single. The single Cancerians. This is for the single Cancer. Okay. Single Cancer. Wonderful message. Can the romance angels give single Cancers this coming week? Here we go. Oh, here we are. Your love life is being affected by children. Now, this could mean that you've started a relationship, you have children, your potential partner has children, or there are children around which are inhibiting you or encouraging you. It's a question that you have to ask yourself. How are children? Or maybe it's because you want children. You desperately want to have children that you want to get into a relationship. For those of you who are single Cancers. And maybe this is the, this is the reason you want to be in a relationship, because your biological clock is ticking. Or you're a guy that's ready to have children and you're looking for someone. Now, let's go for the Cancers in relationships. Let's have a look and see what we have for that. What do the romance angels have to say for Cancers in relationships, in committed relationships already? Okay. Oof. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. Well, for those of you in committed relationships, you could indeed be getting married, perhaps. But I always think that perhaps this is like a deeper commitment or falling in love all over again. This is about that wedding bliss feeling that's coming over your relationship this week. So perhaps this is a really nice week for some of you Cancerians in relationships. Okay, so now, oh, what's happening with my top? I'm sorry. It's all over the place. Take a deep breath in through your nose with me, please. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release slowly through your mouth. And think of a number between 0 and 999. The first number that comes to your head. Put that number below in the comments, and I will give you your personal message from the angels correlating to that number. Now, don't second guess. The very first number was the number that you were meant to, that was your message from the angels. Okay, Cancers, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.